All right, Shalom. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. And salutations to all you Akim there pushing his word in sincerity and truth. Coming back at you with another lesson. This is a response to the brother Karab video, Israelite inventors. First, before I get into this Israelite inventors, I want to go to a couple of scriptures. I'm going to go over here to Psalms 135 and 4. This is Psalms 135 and 4. For Yahweh Hashem Yahushua have chosen Jacob unto himself and Israel for his peculiar treasure. So the people of the God of the Bible, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, are a peculiar treasure unto him. Okay, and he's chosen for himself, not other nations. So these people, a peculiar means to be strange. Okay, so the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are strange people to other nationalities that are out there. Okay, we're strange. We do strange things. We come up with strange things. We come up with ways, though living in the ghettos in poverty, we come up with ways of surviving those things, man, and come up with inventions. Like I'm gonna use, I mean, hip hop is not, it's a music thing, but that's an invention that was made that's all around the world. It was started in the Bronx, New York, in the ghetto, in the projects, and now it's all over the world. It's like the top music out or all over the world right now. So that's something, that's a very peculiar thing that poor people started something like that. And it's like the most number one music rather in the whole entire world. So let me get this other scripture. This is on Deuteronomy 14 and 2. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua thy power. And the Most High have chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. Okay. And to himself, that's possessive. So, and he said above all nations that are on the earth. So if you're not a Negro, Latino, or Native American, you're not a peculiar treasure until Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And like I said, our people are very peculiar, man. So one of the ways of being peculiar is coming up with inventions. Okay, so I'm gonna go into some inventions of the so-called Native Americans. Okay, I'm just gonna read a few of these. This is from a webpage called Indian Country, which is a byword, a disrespect to the so-called Native Americans, because they're the tribe of Gad and the tribe of Reuben, according to the scriptures. But I'm going to go into some of these inventions. It says 10 native inventions it's like 10 native inventions and innovations that changed the world. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple of these. And as you can see, these are so-called Gadites and Reubenites on this picture right here. They could be either or, but these were inventions that quite possibly nobody knows about. Okay. Needles. I don't like no damn needles. I'm gonna go to this one. Baby bottles and formulas. Okay, it says using similar technology as the syringe, the Seneca used washed, dried, and oil-bearer intestines with a bird quill attached as a form of nipple. Mothers filled them with a mixture of pounded nuts, meat, and water. Okay, so they used a bird quill back in the day, but now it's a baby bottle. But the point is, they invented the baby bottle, which is used today. Okay, they invented that, so-called Native Americans, which people don't know about. Okay, let me see another good one here. No, I ain't gonna do cigars. How about, let me see. Let's see what I got. This is a good one. Pest control. Okay, to combat insects such as lice infestation, which them damn crackers, Edomites, they brought lice over here. They weren't over here at first. Okay, the so-called white man brought them nasty bugs over here. But anyway, it says to combat insects such as lice infestation, the Pawachu, if I'm saying that right, and the Shoshan of the Great Basin, for example, wash their hands in hot infusion made with sweet root. Okay, so this was the invention of pest control. Okay, so it says they wash their hair in hot infusion made from sweet root. To fight other pests, pre-Columbian peoples built structures with cashew wood. Okay, let's say it says pre-Columbian, so before them damn devils got over here, they used cashew wood with a Pima sprinkled ashes on their crops to thwart squash bugs. Okay, the Pueblo have used ground buffalo gourd to fend off garden pests, and Inca cotton farmers planted lemon verbena and burned it as a pesticide. Okay, so burned it as a pesticide. So a lot of those things you see today, you can go inside of, let's say, a Walmart and buy like those canned things. I don't know what they're called, and you light it up. It's like a candle, but it brings out smoke to make insects go away. So this is the start of that. So people don't know the so-called Native Americans made pest control. Man. All right. Let me see. So before raid and all this other stuff that they got out here, um, so-called Native Americans came up with that idea. Okay, let me see. Petroleum collection, extraction. Okay, although the discovery of oil in the United States is usually credited to Edwin L. Drake, who drilled an oil well in Pennsylvania in 1859, a damn devil. Native Americans were known to have sunk pits into the ground more than 400 years earlier in the oil creek flats of Pennsylvania. Okay, so way before this so-called devil they just named, Edwin L. Drake, came up with somebody invented the oil drilling. They was doing it already. Okay, these pits, which are 15 to 20 feet deep, were walled with vertical timbers that had been cut with stone axes. Okay, so they made these 15 to 20 feet deep vertical timbers made with stone axes, man. And 15 to 20 feet, that's pretty damn deep, man. If you ever go to a funeral, you see 6 feet deep, that's pretty deep. So 15 to 20 feet, man, meaning they was going to work, man. You got to be pretty damn strong to do that, man. Okay, this is another one. Bunk beds. A lot of people use bunk beds. You don't know that so-called Native Americans made bunk beds. In the northeast of the United States, the Iroquois, if I'm saying that right, I'm not saying it right, have long lived in long houses, long extended buildings made of branches formed into a large half circle and covered with bark. Inside these long houses were bunk beds, a creation of two beds built one on top of the other. No thanks necessary, IKEA. Okay, so that's a little diss at IKEA because they come up with all these damn IKEAs. I mean, it's like ideas for these alternative furniture. But hey, it says it right here. You know, the Iroquois, native, I can't say that word correctly, but they invented the bunk beds, man. Okay, way before IKEA. So these are just some inventions that Israelite inventors made, man. All right, and I'm gonna go to this last page and see what I can find on here. Let me see. I ain't gonna do pharmaceuticals. That shit kill people. Let me see. Chewing gum. Okay, a lot of people like to chew gum. Okay, a lot of people chew gum. So here you go. Bubblicious. Remember that gum? Well, it may never have gotten its start if not for the sapodilatry. The Mesoamerican Indians chewed the milky chicle, which became today's chewing gum. And you thought you were being sneaky. Crickets, okay, we caught you copying Indians. Okay, so you got Wrigley, that's the biggest gum company in America, quite possibly the world. But before that devil came up with his idea, the here you go, the Mesoamerican Indians, so called, came up with chewing gum, man. Okay, because most people like to chew gum to make their breath smell good or whatever. But hey, who came up with it first? And I'm gonna go to this last one, lacrosse, which is a big sport. It says this even the Europeans acknowledged at the time, but it never hurt to be reminded that the Turtle Island indigenous peoples created an entire sport genre. The Iroquoian creators game of lacrosse has been played for centuries. Yes, it was first played by the Iroquoian tribes who honored the game as one that was played for the creators' enjoyment. We've come a long time since the Tilwarton Awards. Okay, so that sport lacrosse was invented by indigenous natives of this country. All right, Israelite inventors. Okay, so these men and women that invented these inventions, these Jakes, never got the credit for the things that they invented. And if they did, they would be reaping the benefits of it. They would be quite possibly billionaires for these things that they created. But since we are under those curses, going back to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, you know, the so-called white man is over us, so he's not going to give the people whose credit is due. You know, so I just wanted to make this quick video response to the brother Karab video, Israelite inventors. So I hope you brothers got some out of this. With that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to all you Akim out there pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Shalom.